I, 28F, thought I had everything under control. On the outside, my life looked decent. I had my own apartment in a mid-sized city, a stable office job, and a long-term girlfriend. I posted photos that made it seem like I was doing fine, but behind all of that, I was barely holding it together. It started slowly. When I moved out on my own, I underestimated everything. Rent, groceries, utilities, random expenses. It all piled up faster than I expected. My salary wasn't terrible, but it wasn't enough to cover everything comfortably. So I used my credit card. At first, it felt harmless. A few hundred here, a few hundred there. Then it became 1,000, then several. Before I even realized what I had done, I was sitting on over $16,000 of debt, and I hadn't told a single person. The worst part? I kept pretending everything was fine. I went out with friends. I bought small things to keep up appearances. I smiled at work. I told my girlfriend I was just tired when she asked what was wrong. But inside, I was constantly calculating. Can I afford food this week? Can I split rent again? Can I avoid checking my bank account today? It got worse. I went to the dentist for a routine check. Big mistake. They told me I needed multiple procedures, fillings, possibly a root canal. The estimate? Over $2,000. I remember sitting there, nodding, pretending I understood. Inside, I felt like I was going to pass out. Because I didn't have that kind of money, not even close. At that point, something in me started to crack. I stopped sleeping properly. I stopped eating regularly. I started having these moments where everything just felt too heavy. But I still didn't tell anyone. Not my friends, not my family, not even my girlfriend. And my relationship, that was its own kind of nightmare. She, 31F, had her own struggles. She was in therapy, on medication, trying. I'll give her that. But everything between us felt like walking on glass. If I didn't reply fast enough, problem. If I wanted to see friends, problem. If I seemed distracted, huge problem. She constantly asked if I was pulling away. And the truth? I was. But not because I didn't care, because I was drowning. I remember one night telling her I was thinking about getting a second job. She went quiet. Then she said, "Why? So you can avoid me even more?" I tried to explain. She didn't hear it. She only heard abandonment. So I dropped the idea, even though I needed it. Meanwhile, my family situation wasn't helping. I made a stupid joke to my dad and his partner about moving back in with them because I couldn't afford my place. I thought it was obvious I was joking. It wasn't. They took it seriously. Then when I clarified, things got cold. Short replies, distance, tension. I had burned a bridge I didn't even realize I needed. And through all of this, there was something else, something I didn't expect. Someone from my past. Years ago, I had a brief relationship with a woman I met while traveling. It was intense, short, and messy. We reconnected once, and I ruined it. I ghosted her. No explanation, no closure. I told myself it didn't matter, that it was just a phase. But now, she was in my head again, every day. I started thinking, what if I hadn't messed that up? What if things had been different? What if I had chosen differently? And the worst part, I was in a relationship while thinking all of this. The guilt was unbearable, but I couldn't stop. Everything in my life started to feel like it was built on lies. My finances, my relationship, my image, my past. I was exhausted. Then everything came crashing down. It happened on a random Tuesday. My card got declined at a grocery store, in front of people. I stood there, trying again. Declined. Again. Declined. I felt my face burn. I left everything and walked out. That was the moment. Not the biggest problem I had, but the moment I couldn't pretend anymore. That night, I broke. I sat on my apartment floor and just cried for hours. And then, for the first time, I told someone. Not my girlfriend, not my family. A friend. I told her everything. The debt, the stress, the relationship, the thoughts. And instead of judging me, she just listened. That was the first time I felt a tiny bit of relief. Update 1. I started taking small steps. I made a list of all my debts. I contacted a financial advisor. I finally booked the dental work and asked about payment plans. It was terrifying, but also grounding. Update 2. I had a conversation with my girlfriend, a real one. It didn't go well, but it was honest. And for the first time, I realized something. I had been trying to hold everything together, even things that were breaking me. Update 3. I haven't reached out to the person from my past. Not yet. Because I finally understand. I wasn't missing her. I was missing a version of myself. A version that felt free. I'm still not okay, not even close. But I'm no longer pretending. And strangely, that feels like the first real step forward.